And welcome back, everybody. Been a couple of weeks since I did a video, but took a holiday last week, but we're back into it. Right, so before we can draw anything on this particular project, I said I think last week or last session we moved all of these floor plans so that they started behaving themselves and were in the right level, because that 2.75 would have been at 0. So, but before we do anything else, what we need to do, because I think a good thing to do would be to look at, say, doing an extension on an existing dwelling. Okay, so before we can even draw anything, what we have to do is we have to set up something called phases. And phases allow us to control existing and new construction and all of that sort of jazz within Revit. So, first things first, let's go to our Manage tab at the top of the ribbon. Okay, and in there you'll see a little subheading there called Phases, so left click on that. And here we have the phasing window. So by default Revit gives us two phases. An existing phase, sounds pretty logical, and a new construction phase. Okay. Generally, you know, what we can do is add another phase in there. I think we will do that, just so we get a clear definition of the different processes. So we've got existing, that's cool. We've got new construction. So what I want to do now is I want to add, if you see how existing has been highlighted, if I go insert after existing, so if I click this after button here, we insert a phase after existing. I can still, I think, merge them around a bit. Now what I'm going to do in there is I'm going to highlight the name of that, and I'm just going to call it Demolition. And in here you can write a description, but it's not necessary, it's just for your own peace of mind. Okay, so we have the project phases, so we now have 3 phases in a project. You can have as many phases as you like, it depends on the type of project you're running. Okay, so now we're going to go phase filters. Okay, I'm not going to go in too much depth in here. Needless to say, it can be a bit confusing and a bit confronting, but the defaults seem to work, so I won't touch anything. And we've got graphic overrides. So we can basically change the way things appear, but again, the defaults I feel are pretty good, so we won't fix what's not broken. So all I'm going to do there is I'm just going to apply and close that window by going OK, which means we now get a we're back in drawing mode. So how do we use these phases? Let's just say we need to draw an existing piece of house on the ground floor plan. So we're going to go to our ground floor plan here and our floor plans. So just double click on there. Okay, so here's our site. We can see contours. We know this area is reasonably flat. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go architecture. I'm just going to draw a rectangular outline of a building here and go from there. So I'm just going to go wall architectural. I'll stick with 240 timber. Okay, let's if I'm on the ground floor, I want to run to the ground floor ceiling. My location line, finish face exterior, because I'll go clockwise. And there we go. So let's just draw something in and see what happens. Okay, so there we go. 8.5 meters. Size is irrelevant, but I might do that. Okay. Now that I've drawn the walls in, let's left click on one of them and have a look at their properties, because this is going to start highlighting this phasing. So I've highlighted that window there. Let's go over to my properties, scroll down. So now we've got this little bit in here, so phasing. Phase created, new construction. Now if I left click, because these walls would not be the new walls perhaps in this project, this is the existing building. So if I go phase created, if I click on that, I get a little drop down arrow, left click on that, then it says which phase were these walls created. So it's an existing wall, so I want these walls to be created in existing. And all of a sudden they go black. So that is because when we click out of this area, okay, and we're just looking at the view, we have some information here as well about phasing. So at the moment the phase filter is showing all, so all means it's showing all phases. So we're showing new construction phase and we're showing an existing phase there, but we're showing it within the new construction phase. Okay, does get confusing. Okay, certainly to start, but the reality is that I'm going to change all of these walls to existing. I'm just going to use my multi-select, click all of those. Okay, I'm going to change all of these walls to existing and go apply. Okay, so click out, come back in here. So architecturally, if I'm in the new construction, or you could call it the proposed phase, anything that's existing you would generally show as a black line, and that is to tell the builder do not touch. We're not, you don't need to be interested in these particular walls. They're not part of a project. Okay, so at the moment this ground floor plan is currently showing new construction. In the next video I'm going to show you how we sort of fix all this up so that we can get existing demolition and construction floor plans, and to get these phases I suppose behaving themselves. They are behaving themselves, but we literally lack the views to see the effects of our work. So what we will do is we will see you later, and like I said, we'll get a little bit more in depth with the next video. Thank you. Bye.